Welcome to the channel, everybody. Borderlands 4 is finally here, and I'm going to be honest, I've been loving it. Everybody's kind of pissed at Randy, but once again, going to be honest, I couldn't really give a shit about Randy or anything he has to say. I never really have, and I've been playing since the original. That's just me, I guess. I don't know. The game's here. I'm playing the game. I don't care what people have to say. Either way, it doesn't really matter. What we're here to do is take a look at the first hour, or roughly the first hour, of the 4 main Borderlands games. I know the pre-sequel is there too. We're just doing the ones with the numbers in it because I felt like it. Also, real quick, just to be fully transparent, this is not me going through and rating every game in the first hour on multiple different categories. This is just the main impression each game left on me after that first hour and how I felt about them, what they did best or what they did worst, and then just rating them from there, 1 through 4. That's all this is. It's not super in-depth or anything, just having fun with it. Either way, enough of this, time to get into it. Starting it off with the first Borderlands, I'm going to be honest, the first hour in the first Borderlands game is truly just a story of humble beginnings, and the vibes and feelings is just A1. Maybe it's the nostalgia, maybe it's the rose-tinted glasses, I don't know. But just being a vault hunter before we've really started finding a bunch of vaults just has a different feeling to it than the other games. Even in the opening cinematic, Marcus is talking about how a lot of people would call us fools. He calls us vault hunters. But to a lot of people, we're basically a crazy Old West prospector looking for gold. Just a crazy person out here doing shit that is never going to amount to anything. We really aren't this thing that people know of or think of as being a great or powerful thing. When you get to the later games, you even start to feel like even in the early game, because of the story and lore that's built up, Vault Hunters are seen as much more important or powerful or significant than they are in the first game. In the first game, they feel like kind of an afterthought. They feel like kind of fools until you actually finally find the vault. So yeah, that feeling of humble beginnings is just unmatched in the first one. The feelings, the vibes, the atmosphere, the dirty grittiness of it, it's just nearly perfect in my opinion. I love it dearly, and once again, maybe it's the rose-tinted glasses. Sue me. I'm letting you know my bias up front. It is what it is. Moving on to Borderlands 2, and probably going to be my most controversial take in this whole video. I don't really know what the beginning of Borderlands 2 does very well. I mean, it doesn't do really anything bad. I don't want to shit talk it because I don't feel like it deserves that. Hammerlock's cool. I like Hammerlock. But within the first hour, it's just, I don't know. The opening cinematic's good with the introduction of Jack. Like, oh, he planned this and got you lured into this trap to blow you up and blah, 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 blah. And Zero's super cool in the opening cinematic, but outside of that, it's fine. I don't prefer the snowy aesthetic to the typical Pandora aesthetic. And yeah, it's just fine. I think the rest of Borderlands 2 is top notch and better than pretty much the rest of the series. I will say 4, story-wise and everything else, I ain't gonna lie, I might end up liking 4 more than 2. Although I don't think Timekeeper's gonna be better than Jack. Jack is just A1. Since day one. It is what it is. But yeah, for specifically the first hour of the game, it's just okay. It's fine. I don't really know what it does better than any of the other games in the series, except for pacing. Its pacing is good. It has very good pacing. So yeah, I don't know. Sue me. I know Borderlands 2 is kind of protected like a golden god, but I don't know. It definitely gets better after the first hour. First hour's just fine. And of course, on to everybody's favorite, Borderlands 3. I'm just gonna say, do me a favor, drop a like and subscribe if you're still here, because I didn't get all the footage for this before Borderlands 4 came out, and I had to take time away from playing Borderlands 4 to go back and record this first hour of Borderlands 3. I'm just saying, I deserve something for that. I don't know what. Like and subscribe would be nice, but I don't know, something. Cookie, anything, either way, doesn't matter. Yeah, Borderlands 3 has one major flaw right within its first hour, and it's not just the writing. That's a flaw throughout the entire game. The pacing. It's horrible. It's awful. You wait for so many things to happen. Of course, at the start of all of them, you wait for Claptrap to talk. We get it. That's kind of a staple. But then you wait for him to talk again and do some more stuff and have a conversation and get stuck on a magnet. Then you do some stuff. You actually do some stuff. But then you wait on Lilith and Claptrap to open a door. And then you immediately, after going through that door, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to turn into a rant. Immediately after going through that door, have to wait on Mouthpiece to shut his mouthpiece, and then wait for Lilith to open another door 30 feet later. I get it. It's the tutorial. It's the opening. It's not supposed to be super fast paced, but my God. We can cut out some of the waiting, because not only after that, you gotta go do your things and then wait for Lilith, and then you gotta go and you gotta wait for Vaughn, and you literally have to wait for Vaughn to get done talking before you can click a talk prompt again just to start the little follow quest. Why do I have to stand here and let him talk just to talk to him again? We're already talking. Just have him move when he is done with his voice line. It's fine. And then, of course, yeah, the writing is bad. It's Borderlands 3. We all already knew that. But, dear Lord, going back and playing Borderlands 3, same old compliment, different day. When the gameplay is gameplaying, it's fun. It's got good gameplay. But, dear Lord, even within the first hour, you have to pause that gameplay so often. It's just, it's awful. It's terrible. Obviously, Borderlands 3 is going to be at the bottom of the list. And I guess I didn't really say it, but if you couldn't tell, Borderlands 1 is at the top right now, with Borderlands 2 just below it. Remember, this is just for the first hour. I do think Borderlands 2 is a better game overall than the original Borderlands, but either way, doesn't matter. Moving on to our newest entry into the series, and what will possibly end up being my favorite. I don't know, I'm only like halfway through, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm loving it. Of course, this means we're finishing out with Borderlands 4. I don't know what else we would be talking about at the end of this video. But yeah, what Borderlands 4 does better than any of the other 3 games, in my opinion, to start off with in the first hour is clearly its story. Its story within the first hour is by far better than the rest of them, in my opinion. Starting off with not only the Timekeeper immediately being presented as at least a somewhat interesting villain, but more importantly, to some degree, a very clearly powerful villain. We kind of have to fear this guy right from the get-go. I mean, until we get Echo 4, we are basically powerless against him. And even when we do have Echo 4, we see how powerless basically everybody else is. He is not to be trifled with, and that is very obvious. So that's a good way to start it off. Another good way to start it off is the whole thing with RJ and the Timekeeper at the end of the tutorial. I don't think I'm really spoiling anybody here if you haven't at least played the tutorial of Borderlands 4. I'm not sure why you're watching this. So yeah, I guess spoilers. Either way, yeah, when he slams that knife into RJ's chest, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really expect things of that level from the beginning of a Borderlands game. It definitely seems like they took some notes from our response to Borderlands 3. But even outside of stuff like this, the gameplay in general is just good, in my opinion. I've very much enjoyed the gameplay so far in the game in general. And yeah, you start off very early getting the whole grapple thing that makes some of the combat in the later parts of the tutorial much more enjoyable than they would be. You get into the whole glide pack thing pretty quickly once you get out of the tutorial. And I guess you could take the tutorial out of this and just go straight from the beach and an hour from there. But I decided to keep it in. I kind of enjoy it. I think it's pretty good. I think it adds to the game within the first hour. And yeah, I don't know. That's just what I decided. But yeah, when just talking about this first hour, I think Borderlands 4 is the total package when thinking about a Borderlands game. It has everything down pretty well at this point, and I think they kind of nailed it. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have to give Borderlands 4 the nod in this ranking. So Borderlands 4 will go at the top, and we've already talked about it. 1, 2, 3 after that. Wow, that's weird. It kind of ended like that. 1, 2, and 3 right in that order going down the list for the bottom 3. Either way, it doesn't matter. I am rambling. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think down in the bottom. What is your rating for the first hour of these games and how they stack up to each other? And yeah, that's about it. If you enjoyed, stick around for more. See you guys next time.